I have to be completely honest. I'm just building for this presentation, so it's going to be completely off the cuff. Because the guy who is actually doing this presentation is unfortunately ill with the flu. So I'm doing the best to answer your questions, and I'm just going to walk you through how to get best started on Hedera with all the beautiful things that we have to empower your development. Now, first things first, what is Hedera and why should you come to us? Well, Hedera is the layer one. So we are our own chain. We are EVM equivalent, no, EVM compatible and nearly EVM equivalent. What's that mean? That means that if you have experience building on EVM, on any of the chains, you can take your app and kind of lift and shift them to Hedera with minimal configurations. However, what we also have and where we really shine is we do have our native SDK. So you can pick any language. I don't know, what's your favorite programming language? Does anyone want to say? Okay, I hear Solidity. You can definitely do that because EVM. But like, let's say it's JavaScript or Python, Rust, even .NET. We all have that. So you can write any Hedera application and interact with the ledger as if you would any other full stack application. Then, besides having this as a massive advantage, what else do we have? Well, Hedera is enterprise ready. That doesn't mean that we're just there for enterprises. We're also very much retail focused. However, you can be a bank coming to us, and we will have the tool for you to build securely on our ledger. We are highly scalable and we are very fast. So if you think of Hedera, we are up to 10,000 transactions per second in production. That's way more than you get with EVM. Then we are actually the greenest chain. So we use a very, very low amount of energy. And a lot of our projects are actually in sustainability, which kind of mimics our efforts to have the least amount of carbon emissions. Then the most important one, we have low and very predictable fees. Do you know that moment when you develop on Ethereum and then you have your gas fees, and depending on congested the network is, they're like really high or they're really low, and it's really hard to actually kind of gauge how much it's going to be? You don't have that on Hedera. The price is fixed in US dollars and it's very low. For every token transfer, you will always just pay 1 cent. And for every HCS message, which is basically like Kafka, you only pay an eighth of a hundredth of a cent. So very, very low predictable fees. Amazing for enterprises in production because you will have to do like forecasting. How much am I going to spend on this with this amount of transactions? Also, we have advanced security with our Hashgraph algorithm, and we have an independent governance. So we have really big players and leading organizations like Google, IBM, etc., supporting the network, running nodes, and making sure it is safe. So that's just a very, very quick intro. Again, we are EVM. You can build your apps on Hedera and you can integrate with, for example, we can also do it on Flow. You can do it on Polygon. That's all possible. But now, if you're a new dev and you want to get to speed with the chain, at least speaking from my own perspective, I hate having to first download a million things and configure my whole machine just to try out if I actually like it. So it's quite nice to actually have a playground where you have the transaction and just run it in your browser and see, do I like the look and feel of this? Well, this is where I would send you if you decide to come to Hedera. We have a portal. You can literally access it by portal.hedera.com. And it will ask you to either create an account or to log in. I'm just logging into my account now. And I'm going to get my password from my password manager. And I'm going to sign in. There we go. And what it's going to give me is testnet credential. It gives you account ID, EVM address, your private key, your DIR encoded key, and you do have that for ECDSA as well for ED25519. And that's ready to go. As soon as you have that, you can either every 24 hours refill by clicking this button and you get another 1,000 test HBAR. Or you can go without even signing up if you already, for example, have a Hedera account ID and just receive 100 testnet HBARs per day by entering your wallet address. So in my case, I could be here getting my wallet address, putting it in, and then click receive, and I'm getting my test tokens. And then I can switch one over and go to the dev playground. Now, the cool thing about this dev playground is that it's running fully in your browser. There's nothing you need to configure. You just can look through what you want to do. What are our different transactions and queries? Also, what is our consent service or token service, smart contract service, etc. And then you can execute them and you can manipulate this code and edit it in the browser. So let's say I want to create a simple token. It will add that method here. It will show me the code. I can see if I like the code. And I can just test this out once and see what is actually happening. And I will see here in this terminal the status of the transaction, my new token ID. And if I open this up, it's going to open HashScan, which is our version of Etherscan. And it's going to show me the transaction ID. And I can also put in, for example, here the token ID. Go to tokens, search by this token ID. And here it is. And I'm happy. I can change this here as much as I like and then test it out straight in the console. You don't have to use your ID. You don't have to install anything or import our SDKs. And also, you can just copy that and put it into your IDE and start developing. I can create an NFT. I can delete a token, burn a token, also deal with, for example, KYC if I think about something regulatory. I can schedule a transaction, something that is really cool in Hedera. Say, oh, I don't want this transaction to execute right now, but maybe in 20 minutes time or even later. And I can create an account or query that account, etc. So that's a very nice way to get started. I also have an inbuilt AI assistant here where I can ask it a question like, how do I deploy a token? Whatever I want to do. And it's going to get the sources from our documentation and help you with an answer and then go through this, which is super, super easy. Now, this AI is, let's go, where are also here. It's called the Hedera HiveMind. I know everyone's using AI nowadays for prototyping and doing hackathons, which is great because you don't have to spend all your time doing front end and style it out. It's so much nicer to use Lovable and just like get a boilerplate template and then go from there. Now, sometimes AIs unfortunately hallucinate. So it's good to have something like this. This is a custom GPT that we have free to use, which is trained on our own documentation. So you have access to everything that you need without having to worry about it might be wrong. I can also ask stuff like, what's the current account balance of, and then account, where's my account number? There we go. And submit that. And it will go talk to our mirror node that is basically querying the state and sending back the historical transactions and let me know how much I have. It will even ask me if I want to connect to the mainnet public mirror node. And I can always allow and decline. I can allow this. My balance is going to be not 0 because that's a testnet account, but I'm just going to show you for the sake of things how it's going to look like. What else do we have? Docs. If you're a native developer, so trying to use our native services, you go down this path. If you're an EVM developer and you want to know exactly what's the difference or how to interact with Hedera Testnet, deploy a contract, use a contract builder, or the difference between Hedera and Ethereum, this is where you find help. Moving on, we saw the dev playground. We also have a contract builder. You probably know Remix IDE, which is a great tool. We have something similar just here in Hedera, which is helping you. So let's say I want to deploy an ERC20 or an ERC721, and I can say what I exactly want. So I can be here and say, call this my token, my test token, whatever. Say how much I want to pre-mint. I can say, what do I want? Do I want this mintable, burnable? And you can see it will add the functions. So it's very, very easy and simple to get up to speed with Solidity development. And I can take this away and it will create my token. I can also say, do I want this to be ownable? And if I don't know what ownable means, I can click here and it's going to explain it to me. Very simple, very nice. If I'm happy with my contract, let's say I want to chuck something more in. Yeah, looks good. This is what I need. I can compile this. Again, it's all in the browser. I can accept it. And I can wait for a couple of seconds. And then I can deploy this contract. Oh, it wants my account ID, of course. I missed that. It's going to give you a nice error message if you're doing something wrong. And then I can also already say that I want to verify this on HashScan. So contract verification has never been so easy. You don't have to download your binaries or artifacts from Remix. You can literally just post your contracts there, verify on HashScan, and then deploy the contract. And you're sure that you're already having it verified. That's not happening here, just in this portal. And I'm waiting. And I'm verifying. And I see this has been verified. It's giving me my contract ID. I can click on it and it will show me my contract here on HashScan. I see my ABI, I see my source, my bytecode, events, calls. So basically, this is really nice to see this again. And then it brings me to this calls view interface where I can then call certain functions, approve, transfer, from to. So I can interact with the smart contract and I'll then here in the console see what output I get. So this is kind of an all-inclusive way to figure things out on Hedera or to just give it a try. These are the basics. Now, this is very focused on EVM smart contract development or on our own services and native APIs. What we also have, and I'm going to show you right now, is our Hedera Agent Kit. Let me get rid of all the stuff here. And our Hedera Agent Kit is pretty new. It's very nice for everyone that would like to work with AI agents and build a platform or a decentralized application. It's actually one of our main points where we look to judge in this hackathon. To install the Agents Kit, which is basically something like how should I say? Well, it sets up your boilerplates. It's like it accelerates your development. It's the same as Lovable when you want to have like a Next.js application from scratch and you don't want to set it up. So you can just do an npm create Hedera agent latest. And it's going to set this up for you. It's going to take a bit. I'm going to actually make this bigger. The internet's not loving me today. This should be faster. Let me try this again. Yeah, this is better. And it's going to ask me for my project name. I'm just going to I'm just going to say test Hedera app. It's going to ask me what mode do I want? Do I want this to be autonomous agent or do I want it to have a human in the loop? Now, what does that mean? If I have an autonomous agent, I build an agent that doesn't need me to constantly click approve. I'm just going to give it a keys and the agent's going to work by itself. While if I have human in the loop, I will, for everything that the agent is trying to do, I will have to give it the approval. So if I do, running out of time, so let's do autonomous first. I'm going to be asked for testnet or mainnet. I would always say, let's go first with testnet. It's going to ask me for my Hedera operator ID. Where do I get this? It's my account number. So I'm going to go back to my dashboard here. I can copy this account number, go back here, import it, and there we go. Next, it's going to ask me for my operator key, and it needs to be ECDSA. It also says that. So I can be here, and I can click, and I can put this into this wizard. It's going to ask me what model I'm going to use. For the sake of this, I'm just using OpenAPI, and I have my key here. Quickly copy and pasting this, and then we're done. Now I can CD into this beautiful app I just have created. I can do an npm install. It's going to take a tiny little bit. And this is going to set up my boilerplate. So the Hedera Agent Kit has integrations to Longchain, to EliseOS, MCP servers, etc. So what you can do here by running these commands is getting the base integrations already to work. And then you can just further develop it and specify it. And just it's going to accelerate your development by tenfold, hopefully. So in the meantime, if I go while this is running and install, I can show you how it looks like by just opening this in another terminal. If you now see my Visual Studio Code and I make this a bit bigger, this is what it's currently setting up. So you're going to have your source folder with the app. You have your API here, your agent, you have your wallet and your routes. You have your environment files that are already going to be pre-configured from the commands we have done. Otherwise, you can, of course, change them. And all the configs that you need. And as soon as this is fully installed, I can serve it on localhost 3000. It's going to have a very simple chat interface and then can take it from there. Today, internet is slow. I'm going to try to do this with one that I have previously done. I think it was tests. So I'm going to, oh wait, was it test 2? Test 2. Yes. And then I do npm run def. And you see it's going to spin up on local hosts. And here we go. This is how it looks like. It's already a very simple agent chat interface, which you can ask an agent something, it will return stuff. The network is set here to testnet, how we have said. And this is gonna hopefully help you up to speed. So this to our Hedera portal and to the Hedera Agent Kit. Now, this, of course, is not everything that we have. We have, again, amazing docs. We have amazing tutorials. Let's say you want to know how to verify a smart contract and HashScan without using the Hedera Playground. You will find help here. If you want to know how to send and receive HBAR with Solidity contracts, you can find that here. You can literally find tutorials for pretty much everything. And we are here to help you. So please come find us at the booth if you decide to work with us. We're here the entire weekend, and you can always ask us about question and also how to debug if you face any errors. Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure.